Orlando Cabrera will lead it off, right-handed hitting shortstop. The wind, and tonight's first pitch is low, ball one. And we're underway at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario. 70 degrees the game time temp. Cabrera had 2 hits last night. The veteran shortstop. Carmona's pitch, and it sinks low, ball 2, 2-0. Fausto against the Cincinnati Reds has given up 1 career run in 9 1/3 innings of work. The 2-0 pitch, and it's over the inside corner. Cabrera jumped back. Now he looks back at Angel Campos in disbelief, and the count 2-1. Fausto on the year, 4-1, an ERA of 3.33, 8 starts, no complete games. Carmona averaging 6 innings per start. He averages 5 strikeouts and 4 walks per 9 innings. Teams are batting just .234 against Fausto Carmona. Now the right-hander into the motion, and the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, tapped foul right at the plate, 2-2. Austin Kearns, the former Red, out in left. Trevor Crow in center. Shin-Soo Choo in right. Matt Laporta at first. Mark Grudzelanek at second. Jason Donald at short. Johnny Peralta at third. Mike Redmond the catcher for an Indians defense that's 5th in the American League. The 2-2 swung on, rolled foul, third base side. Orlando Cabrera was exactly what the Reds needed. One, they didn't expect him to be their leadoff hitter, but he's become that. But boy, you put him and Scott Rowland on the left side of that infield, and what those two guys have been through down through the years, instant credibility. The 2-2 swung on, bounced foul again, third base side.
Well, Dusty put him in the leadoff spot about 2 weeks ago, and he has really responded to hit over 300, getting on base.
It's just hard to figure out why he has bounced around so much, Mike, because everywhere he goes, it seems like wins follow. Now the wind, and 2-2. Swung on, a bouncing ball to third. Fielded on the second hop by Peralta. Throws across the diamond for out number 1. That'll bring up Brandon Phillips, who is off to a sluggish start for Cincinnati. The right-handed hitting second baseman, batting .262. 5 homers with a dozen RBIs. But, of course, as always against the Indians, he came to life last night and hit a bomb. The former Cleveland Indian, who was a part of the Bartolo Colon trade, along with Grady Sizemore and Cliff Lee. Brandon Phillips originally was a shortstop, but he is a Gold Glove second baseman. Wind the pitch, and it's in the dirt for ball 1. Outfield spread out fairly deep for Brandon Phillips. The wind and the pitch, and it's just off the inside corner, 2-0. Fausto Carmona. A year ago, left-handed hitters batted .331. This year, .238. That's been the biggest difference. The 2-0 pitch swung on, ripped deep left field. This is headed for the wall, and it'll short hop the wall. Carom played by Kearns. The throw into second is offline, and a stand-up double for Brandon Phillips, his 14th double of the year. And he just continues to make the Indians pay for ever letting him get away.
Another one of those former Indians that come back to haunt. I mean, he could be slumping, the worst slump of his career, and see an Indians uniform and come to life. Although Fausto right there, Tom, it makes a lot of difference when you leave a ball in the middle of the plate. Didn't do that to Cabrera, jammed him, and right there left a fastball about thigh high out over the middle.
So Phillips is aboard with 1 down. No score, first inning. Here's the left-handed hitting first baseman, Joey Votto. The pitch is outside, ball 1, and somebody missed a sign. Shortstop Jason Donald thought a timing play was on, and he went to second base as the pitch was being delivered. Votto hitting .310, 10 homers, 31 RBIs, leading the Reds in home runs and runs batted in.
Well, Brandon Phillips last night with one out tried to steal. No, there were 2 outs, weren't there? No.
Yeah, there were. The pitch. Swung on line drive, base hit center field. Well, he's going to trot home now. Up throwing is Trevor Crow, but the ball trying to be cut off at the mound by Laporta. It kicks away from him into foul ground in front of the Indians' third base dugout. Mike Redmond goes to get it, and that'll be a single, an RBI, and a throwing error on Trevor Crow. Laporta went to cut that ball off at the pitcher's mound because there was no chance to throw out Phillips. And the ball kind of short-hopped Laporta, and it kicked off him and ricocheted into foul ground on the third base side. And now the Reds have a runner at second base, leading 1-0 with 1 out. Votto's 32nd run batted in.
Well, actually, Laporta was a little late getting to that position, Tom. He was still on the first base side of the mound rather than being lined up with the center fielder.
Here's Scott Rowland, the cleanup hitter, takes high, ball 1. Rowland batting .285, 8 homers, 23 runs batted in. So Carmona has given up 2 sharp hits back-to-back. The double by Phillips, the RBI single by Votto. The pitch, and it runs over the inside corner for a strike to even the count. Well, this is a similar start that Fausto had his last time out, which was Monday in St. Pete. And in that ball game, Carmona gave up 2 runs in the first inning and didn't give up another run. Left the ball game with 2 outs in the 7th. The 1-1 runs inside 2-1 as that slider just didn't break. That was also the game in which Asdrubal Cabrera shattered his left forearm, and Cabrera will be out at least 2 months. Of course, Grady Sizemore on the disabled list with that deep knee bruise. Now the 2-1, a swing and a high pop-up. Third base side of the infield. Johnny Peralta, the third baseman, back edge of the infield, makes the catch 2 down. Going to bring up the left-handed hitting Jay Bruce, who's in an 0 for 12 skid. But this young man, Mark Shapiro, the Indians general manager, was talking about Jay Bruce. What a great future Jay Bruce has. He's only 23 years old. He's a tremendous athlete. This is a very legitimate Reds contender, and it's a very young team. The set, the pitch. Fastball straight.
Yeah, really, with the exception, well, Hernandez has been around, but Roland, Hernandez, and Cabrera, other than that, they are a very young ball club.
And where they get younger, Mike, is the pitching rotation. Wait till they get the Cuban Missile up. Chapman. But in the meantime, with guys like Cueto and Volquez comes back, Leak, Bailey, the 0-1 swung on, ground ball single. With the shift on, a ground ball single to left by Bruce. That is going to score Joey Votto. Throw back to first after a big turn by Bruce, but he dives back safely. 2-0 Reds. Indians went to that shift there, and Bruce shot it through the left side of the infield for his 17th RBI.
I think that's what Mark was talking about. Now Bruce able to adjust. Got a sinking fastball away. The reason, of course, they're playing the shift is because they play this young guy as a dead pull hitter, not able to adjust to pitches away. That time he did. He stayed back, took the ball to the opposite field, and drove in a run.
Now you've got Johnny Gomes, the DH, at the plate. He hit a missile last night into the bleachers, almost 2/3 of the way up in the left field bleachers. Johnny Gomes batting .304, 6 homers, 27 ribbies. He takes up an in, ball 1. So like Monday, Carmona scuffling here in inning number 1. Reds with a couple of runs on 3 hits. But right now, the error has made one of the runs unearned. Bruce's single would not have scored Votto had he not been able to go to second on the throw that got away from Laporta. Cutting it off at the mound. The set, the pitch, a swing and a high fly ball to left, but not deep. Near the line, Kearns comes chugging in, makes the catch in foul ground, and the Reds are retired, but they have scored twice. The Indians are coming to bat. Trevor Crow is going to lead off for the Indians. Switch hitting center fielder, batting left-handed, as the Indians will face Johnny Cueto, the 5'10", 211-pound right-hander, 24 years old, fastball, slider, changeup. The right-hander pumps and fires, and the first pitch is a little bit high. Ball 1 to Trevor Crow. Since coming up from Columbus, batting .310 with a homer and 5 RBIs. Cueto into the wind in the pitch, and it's over, a called strike at 95 miles an hour. Cueto is out of the Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo. The right-hander's pitch swung on and missed, in the count 1-2. Cueto was 11-11 last year. He was 9-14 in his rookie year in 08. And the Reds feel like he's capable of being much better. The pitch, Crow pops one up foul behind the plate and out of play. But it doesn't matter who you are. It usually takes some time before it all comes together. And if he's listed at 5'10", you know he's probably a little smaller than that. You don't see many right-handers this size in the big leagues. A swing and a miss. He got Trevor Crow to chase one down and in for out number 1. He's got good stuff.
Well, that is like I'd call it a slurve, Tom. It's in between a slider and a curveball. It's got a pretty big break, but it's also very hard. And he made a perfect pitch right there. If he can do that to left-handed hitters, that is a very difficult pitch for lefties to handle.
Ironically, this year, the left-handers have had a lot more trouble than the right-handed hitters.
See why.
Here's Chu batting second, swinging and missing at a fastball.
Well, he and Fausto, I was looking at velocity. That was 96 miles an hour right there, and Fausto throwing at 95.
2-0 Reds. The 0-1 is fouled back, 0-2.
So we're talking two guys that are running it up there pretty good. With movement, I might add.
Cueto is 3-1 with a .367 ERA. 8 starts, 1 a complete game shutout. It was a one-hitter. The 0-2 runs outside, 1-2. 7 strikeouts, 2 walks per 9 innings. He one-hitted the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he did it on 102 pitches. He faced 28 batters. He gave up a base hit in the 3rd inning. That was it. No walks, 8 Ks. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? Sure looked like it. He did. That was that same pitch. He busted down and in. And Chu is strikeout victim number 2.
Well, that's what these youngsters are capable of doing. Bailey, I think, followed it up with another shutout. They shut out the Pirates back-to-back last week.
2 down, 2-0 Reds, first inning. Better tell you, the outfield here quick. Laynce Nix in left. The rookie Drew Stubbs in center. Jay Bruce in right. Joey Votto at first. Brandon Phillips at second. Orlando Cabrera at short. Scott Rowland at third. Ramon Hernandez, the catcher. Austin Kearns sends a souvenir out of play down the right side for strike 1. But Dusty Baker, the Reds manager, was saying before the game last night that, believe it or not, he said, the rookie Mike Leake has had a big impact on the rest of the rotation. The 0-1 is tapped foul to the left, 0-2, because all Leake has done from day one is pound the strike zone. He's not overpowering, but just keeps pounding the strike zone. And he goes, we've got other guys looking at each other going, wait a minute, I throw 5 miles an hour harder than that. Here's the 0-2. Kearns takes high, 1-2. And it's really rubbed off on the other starting pitchers.
Well, sometimes, especially when you get guys like Cueto, Bailey, who have been flamethrowers their whole career, they're not that much concerned about command.
The 1-2 to Kearns. I have no idea what was wrong with it, but it's ball 2, 2-2.
But at this level, Tom, you have to be, because you're going to run into clubs and hitters who are going to lay off stuff that they don't want to swing at, and you're going to find yourself 2-0, 3-1, high pitch counts, 4th inning.
2-2. Down and away, missed with that hard slider, full count. Well, Kearns batting .300, 3 homers, 20 RBIs. Trying to get something going with 2 down, tried down 2. The pitch. A swing and a shot down the left field line. Fair ball, it's headed toward the corner. Ricochet will be played by Nix. He'll throw the ball back in toward third. Austin Kearns has his 12th double. And he is now 4 for 7 lifetime against Johnny Cueto.
Well, you talked about Cueto having more problems with righties than lefties. Austin Kearns was hitting .324 against right-handed pitching coming in, and he actually started playing against left-handers this year, and he's hitting better against righties. This is a tough game to figure out.
There's Travis Hafner, the Indians DH, 2 down. Kearns had second with the Indians down 2-0. Hafner with a 9-game hitting streak, batting .364 during that stretch. The outfield for Hafner is fairly deep, pretty much straight away. Travis takes a fastball just off the outside corner. Travis Hafner has faced Johnny Cueto one time. It was in Cincinnati, and he got a pinch hit home run. Home run here would tie it. The 1-0 swung on, popped up foul. This will reach the third base seat, Steve, in the count.
This is kind of a modified shift, if you will, that the Reds use. Tom, Phillips is playing to pull. I mean, he's back on the grass, but they don't have Cabrera on the right side of second base. Actually, Travis Hafner has hit a lot of balls to shortstop, to left field this year.
Rolling the third baseman about 20-25 feet off the line. The set in the 1-1. Swung on, fouled upstairs. It's 1-2. Well, the Indians will join KeyBank tomorrow for a glove drive to support the Cleveland Baseball Federation and Baseball Tomorrow Fund. You can help outfit more than 100 youth baseball teams with gloves for this season. Drop them off, new or used, at gates A and C before the ballgame. Hafner down in the count, 1-2.
See if they go with the same pattern here, that breaking ball down and in.
The pitch, down and in, missed. That's almost like a cutter.
That
a hard slider.
That one was, Tom. I think the ones that he threw to Crow and Chu were, that's what I said, they were more like slurves. That one was hard. It was 91 miles an hour.
Well, left-handed hitters are batting .218 against the right-hander. Righties are hitting .271. It's usually reversed. The pitch. Low, threw him a changeup. His changeup is 87 miles an hour. Full count on Hafner. So after 2 quick strikeouts, the string was out on Kearns. He yanked a double into the left field corner. Now full count on Hafner, and the catcher, Ramon Hernandez, out to talk to Johnny Cueto. Cueto had some kind of major league debut in 2008. He was the first pitcher in modern major league history to strike out 10 and not walk a batter in his major league debut. Now the payoff. A swing and a foul back. Jammed him with the hard stuff.
Interesting when you watch Ramon Hernandez behind the plate. The last 2 pitches, Tom, after he's given the sign, he has kind of slid inside, and then when Cueto goes into the stretch, he jumps outside. I think what he's trying to do is keep maybe Austin Kearns from giving Travis Hafner location.
Mike, do you as a hitter ever try to sneak a peek?
Well, if you do, the next pitch is going to be at your ear. If they catch you. You know, a lot of times guys will look down when they tap their bat on the plate. That back eye might look a little bit to see if he can see where the glove might be. But you better not be too obvious about it.
What if the catcher's looking right at you?
You give him a little wink. And
Hi, big guy. Here's the payoff. A swing and a weak bouncer to short, charged by Cabrera. He'll glove it. He'll throw it to first and gets Hafner by a step. The Indians get a double but do no damage. After 1, the Reds leading it 2-0. Bottom third of the Reds order, 2-0. Second inning, Cincinnati on top as Laynce Nix, the left-handed hitting left fielder, takes a knee-high strike. Nix banged out 3 hits, including a home run last night. Fausto Carmona into the motion and the 0-1. Swung on, a 2-hopper headed to second. Redzolanek throws out Nix. Mike Redmond has become Fausto Carmona's regular catcher, and the big thing that Redmond really insisted on from day one with Fausto was, your sinker is so good, we're going to stay with it until other teams make adjustments. Then we'll go with the slider and the changeup. But Mike said, the only time I ever would play against the Indians was either against Sabathia or Carmona. He said, go figure that. And he said, look, I'm not a very good hitter. He said, I'm not trying to kid myself. I know what my limitations are. The wind and the pitch to Ramon Hernandez is up and in. And he said, I'd be up there and I would see everything Carmona had in the first 3 pitches. I'd see a sinker, I'd see a slider, and I'd see a changeup, and I'd be thinking, 1 pitch is all you need to get me out. The 1-0. Inside 2-0.
Well, not only
he convinced Carmona to change his ways.
Yeah, he was saying that in many respects, Fausto became too predictable, that it was going to be the sinker in, the slider away to right-handed hitters.
The wind, the pitch, down low, 3-0.
And depending on counts and situations, as a hitter up there, you can make an educated guess as to what it's going to be. And most times, good hitters will guess right. And that's what was happening with Fausto.
Hernandez may have the green light. The pitch, he takes it, a strike, 3-1. Boy, you wonder with Ramon Hernandez. He is batting .280, doesn't have a home run. A few years ago at Baltimore, he had 23. 3-1 pitch. He waved at that one. That was ball 4 outside. Full count. Hernandez, though, is now 33 years old, so maybe time is catching up with the bat speed. Carmona, the wind and payoff. A swing and a foul down the right side. Will do it again. 3-2 the count. Not a bad crowd on this Saturday night. Sure do see a lot of Reds fans here, in addition to the Indians fans.
This may be the best weather night that we've had of the year.
Yeah, and tomorrow's going to be even better. Now the payoff. A swing and a foul back upstairs, and we'll do it again at 3-2. Well, on Tuesday, the White Sox will be in town, and it's Sugardale Dollar Dog Night. Dollar hot dogs from Sugardale. Get your tickets now at Indians.com or call 216-420-HITS. Payoff pitch. Swung on, a chopper by the mound. Behind second. Fielding it. Donald spins, throws, and got it. Oh, boy. Jason Donald going to his left. The shortstop made that play from behind second. Did a 360 spin and throw to get Hernandez.
Well, he had the right guy running, too. Hernandez does not run that well because the ball wasn't hit very hard, and he might have been 5 steps back on the outfield grass.
Jason Donald's a good-looking player. Obviously, the offense is still a work in progress as Drew Stubbs swings late at a fastball, but Jason Donald has shown he can more than hold his own defensively. Stubbs batting $190, 4 homers, 19 RBIs, right-handed hitting center fielder. 2-0 Reds, 2 down, a swing and a miss on a sinker in on his thumbs, 0-2. Fausto Carmona, much sharper this inning. Into the motion, the 0-2 pitch. A swing and a bouncer, third base side foul. And we'll do it again at 0-2. Indians and Reds wrap it up tomorrow at 1:05. David Huff against Homer Bailey. The Indians will be in Cincinnati the last weekend of June, and that'll be the final weekend of interleague play. Now the 0-2. Just missed outside with the off speed. 1-2 the count. Drew Stubbs, Awaiting the pitch. He swings and sends it out of play to the right foul. Still a 1-2 count. He was the Reds' first-round pick in the 06 draft. That's when the Reds had the 8th pick in the first round, after becoming a 3-time All-American at the University of Texas down in Austin. Now the 1-2. A swing and a bouncer again through the third base coaching box. Still a 1-2 count. 2-0, Reds leading it with 2 in the first. Cincinnati has not fared well in interleague play, which began in 1997. The Reds all-time are 20 games below 500 against the American League. The 1-2 pitch. Inside 2-2, and their Hall of Fame broadcaster, Marty Brennaman, was saying he does not think the National League is very strong this year. He said, I haven't seen a team yet that makes me go, wow. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, a little flare to left. Coming hard as Kearns. He'll get there to make the catch. And the Reds go 1-2-3. And because of that, Marty feels like the Reds very much will be in the hunt all season long. Why not with some of the arms they have? It's a 2-0 Reds. Johnny Peralta leads off the Indians second, takes down an away ball one. 2-0 Reds. The next pitch is banged foul through the third base coaching box. It's been a busy spot tonight in the count of 1-1. Peralta batting for Ken Hill of Cleveland in the Giant Eagle base hit bonus inning. Just to complete the thoughts of Marty Brennaman, the Reds Hall of Fame broadcaster. The wind in the 1-1. A swing and a foul again, third base side, 1-2. It's not that he feels the National League is horrific by any means, but there are just certain years where there are certain teams in whatever league, the American League or National League, where you just go, wow. And Marty has seen a number of those in Cincinnati when you think of the Big Red Machine. The 1-2 pitch, swung on a miss, good slider away, third strikeout. And I really wonder, Mike, if you could say that about all of baseball. We haven't obviously seen the New York Yankees, and I mean, for $200 million, that ought to be a team that makes you go, wow, but they're getting a little long in the tooth.
Yeah, they are.
Tampa Bay, and granted, we only saw them for 2 games, was really impressive when you look at an American League team with an ERA of 2.75, but they're not hitting right now. Matt Laporta takes a called strike, so maybe it's one of those years, and time will tell, that maybe there isn't that one juggernaut. We'll have to see. Now the 0-1. A swing and a miss. Boy, he was late on that.
Yeah, I mean, you look up and down the standings of both leagues, Tom, and of course you've got Houston that got off to the bad start, and the Orioles and the Indians have only won 15 ball games, but there aren't a lot of bad teams, and there aren't a lot of real good teams, and there's a lot of parity in the middle.
Which makes it more fun for the fans. And again, we're not even at Memorial Day, so the next 4 months could change all of that. Now the wind in the 0-2. Swung on, hit in the air toward right center. Pretty well hit. Bruce, the right fielder, is back in front of the track. Makes an over-the-shoulder catch onto the track. There's really not much of a breeze, but that ball really had some carry, and it almost fooled Bruce.
Yeah, it did. It had more carry than Bruce thought it was going to have, because he tried to kind of glide to that ball and finally had to put the burners on at the end. He was looking up at the scoreboard at a replay, Tom, to see how far that ball carried, but he caught it at the warning track.
2 down, 2-0 Reds. Here's second baseman Mark Rudzolanek, right-handed hitter. Johnny Cueto with a fastball strike.
Boy, this guy, that fastball 97 miles an hour. These two guys are 96, 97 miles an hour.
The 0-1. A swing and a chopper by the mound, behind second to shortstop. Cabrera gloves, throws from the second base side of the infield, and gets Grudzielanek. The Indians go quietly after 2. Reds 2, Indians nothing.
Back here at Progressive Field, Mike Egan, Tom Hamilton, and Jim Rosenhaus with you. We reached the third inning, 2-0 Reds, as Orlando Cabrera hits a shot. One hop to the backhand of Johnny Peralta, who makes the play and throws him out. Boy, that had double written all over it. Peralta reached down just in time and made the play. Cabrera actually started to take a right. I think he thought the ball was caught in the glove of Peralta, but Johnny made a nice play on the backhand and throws out Cabrera. 1 out here in the third inning.
Mike, Cabrera's had 7 at-bats this weekend. He's had 6 line drives.
He got off to a slow start. A lot of these Reds hitters, and of course we chronicled it last night, their pitching staff really struggled early. First pitch to Brandon Phillips up and in, but boy, over the last 3 weeks or so, they have really played good baseball. They're hitting the ball well. They're throwing the ball well. This guy here has gotten hot. Phillips swings and misses. Doubled into the corner his first time up down the left field line, and then scored on Votto's base hit. But Brandon Phillips, who is hitting .262 right now, well over 300 over the last 3 weeks, takes a pitch outside from Fausto to make that 1-2. The Reds come in to play tonight a half game behind the Cardinals in the Central Division. The 1-2 pitch is high and outside, 2-2. They blew a couple of ball games down in Atlanta. Otherwise, they're a first place ball club right now.
Well, and now it is over. The Angels did beat the Cardinals.
Well, they can move back into first place with a win here tonight. That one swung on and missed. Good breaking ball, or ball that moved down on Phillips. And he is strikeout victim number 1 for Fausto Carmona. You look down, Tom, and I thought that pitch by the naked eye looked like it was a slower pitch. You look at the scoreboard and it said 93 miles an hour.
Well, these two guys are making it look easy.
Votto with a base hit, his first time up, swings and misses there. That was an off-speed pitch. His changeup is 88. His changeup is as hard as a lot of guys. It's harder than Jamie Moyer's fastball. That by about 4 miles an hour. Swung on and missed. He did it again. And Votto in the hole, 0-2 with 2 outs, 2-0 Reds.
Well, if Carmona gets to a point where his changeup is similar to Jake Westbrook's, he could win with 2 pitches.
Yep. 0-2 the count on the left-handed hitting Joey Votto, the Reds' fine young first baseman. This one hit past the diving Grudzielanek into right field, a base hit. Big turn for Votto. Now Chu going to throw back to first. And they made it very close with Votto coming back to the bag. Might have gone to the well once too often there. The third straight off-speed pitch, and Votto waited back with the hands and shot it past Grudzielanek into right center field for a base hit. We've talked about some of these good young hitters, and Joey Votto is one of them. He's 2 for 2 tonight. And here's Scott Rowland, who popped up. Rowland, right-handed hitter, batting .285, 8 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Takes low and outside, ball 1 from Carmona. Second on the club behind Votto with those 8 home runs. Joey Votto at first base with 2 outs. Carmona comes set the pitch. Outside, backhanded by Mike Redmond, and it's 2-0. The Reds have won 5 of their last 7. The last time that they were 7 games over 500, 2006. That's how long it has been since the Reds have been in this position.
But it just seems like, Mike, since interleague play began, there's never been a year when the Indians and Reds were both contenders
right. Yep.
that could have really ratcheted up this series even more.
Carmona set. The 2-0 pitch, high and inside, 3 balls and no strikes. So he can't find the strike zone here to Scott Rowland with left-handed hitting Jay Bruce waiting on deck. Bruce had an RBI base hit in the first inning off Fausto. Outfield, straight away and deep. The pitch is taken, belt high inside corner, 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike to the veteran third baseman, Scott Rowland. Hit high in the air on the infield. Now back a couple of steps on the outfield grass. Now coming in a couple of steps is Jason Donald, right behind second base, makes the play. And Fausto out of the third here. We go to the bottom of the third, 2-0 Reds. Back here at Progressive Field, bottom of the third inning, and Mike Redmond with his first at bat of the night. Johnny Cueto has given up 1 base hit. He has struck out 3, misses outside to Redmond there. It's 1-1. Redmond, Jason Donald, then Trevor Crow here in the bottom of the third inning. The outfield playing Redmond toward right. He hits a weak chopper back up the middle, cut off by Brandon Phillips, and throws him out. 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning as the Reds lead it 2-0. 2 runs on 4 hits for Cincinnati. Big night here at the ballpark. Of course, Ohio State well represented here tonight, and a big display out on the plaza courtesy of NASA. And we're going to be visited the next inning by Captain Mike Foreman from NASA. Outside, missing 1 ball and no strikes. Archie Griffin going to be here tonight too, isn't he?
Archie's going to be with us, yep.
A cast of thousands. Jason Donald has struggled lately. 0 for his last 13 now for the youngster. Jammed and pops it up, fouls it back. Got his hits in his first ball game off left-handed pitching, and since has struggled against the right-handers. The one thing that you look at, Tom, and we'll see if the approach continues, but it looks like a lot of pitchers trying to jam him inside. Hard stuff in and then make him try to expand the strike zone and chase away. Of course, that's pretty typical of the way you pitch anybody. The next offering is a weak ground ball hit over the pitcher's mound and charged and fumbled by Brandon Phillips. Phillips looked like he got his feet crossed up. That ball crow-hopped over the head of the pitcher, and Phillips charging behind the mound. Looked like it might have caught him on the heel of the glove. He didn't look comfortable making the play. It's going to be an error. Brandon Phillips, I think he wasn't sure how he was going to catch it. Lay back, charge, and he got caught in between, and he will be charged with an error. The Reds have not made many errors this year.
That's only the second on Brandon Phillips.
They are second in the National League in fielding coming in to play tonight. Fielding percentage of .987, so they don't beat themselves very often. Here's Trevor Crow, who struck out his first time up. Switch hitter, batting left-handed, hits a weak ground ball to the mound as the runner was going. Jason Donald broke on the pitch, and Crow on the hit and run hit one out on the end of the bat and hit a weak grounder, comebacker to the mound. And the only play really for Cueto was to first base. But Jason Donald down there at second with 2 out. I'll use biodegradable, non-toxic Simple Green to keep your gear clean. Simple Green cleans at the speed of light. 2 down. Shin-Soo Choo, who had a big night last night. 4 base hits in his last 7 at bats now, but was struck out by Cueto in the first inning. Takes inside ball 1. Choo last night 3 for 4 with 2 home runs, a single, and 3 runs batted in. Now with 6 homers. The pitch, high and outside, 2-0. You wonder how interested they are in throwing to Choo here with the right-handed hitting Austin Kearns on deck. But interestingly enough, Tom, in the first inning, he strikes out Choo and Kearns gets the double. Outfield straight away and deep. Runner at second base, 2 outs, 2-0 Reds. The pitch. Choo hits one to left field, being charged by Nix. Fields it on 1 hop. Throw coming in, and it's going to be cut off. I'll tell you what, Nix charged that ball perfectly, and I think that's what made Steve Smith hold up Jason Donald. And Nix got off a terrible throw. I don't think you can count on that. And Steve Smith, I guess, just didn't want the runner to get thrown out at the plate, but that was an awful throw by Nix, and it was offline. I think Donald would have scored, but...
Well, and the problem there, as you said, Mike, the way he charged it, Donald was just getting to third, and Nix had the ball.
Yeah, and you're talking about the left fielder, so it was a close throw. But if they'd sent him, he probably would have scored. That's the life and times of a third base coach.
Nobody knows your name until the guy's out at the plate by 15 feet.
Here's Austin Kearns, the former Red. Doubled into the left field corner his first time up. Cueto throws to first, and Choo dives back. Choo leads the Indians with 9 stolen bases. First and third, 2 out. Bottom of the third inning, 2-0 Cincinnati. Game 2 of this 3-game series as Cueto misses outside. 2 teams will meet again later down at the Great American Ballpark. That will be coming up the 21st. Take that back. This one hit well to center field, but not well enough as the center fielder Stubbs is there. Kearns lines out. Inning over. We've played 3, and it's 2-0 Cincinnati. First pitch bunting. Jay Bruce, they had the shift on for the left-handed hitting right fielder, and Jay Bruce bunted one down the third base line. He had Peralta playing way over off the line and had an easy base hit, so he's on at first with nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning and a 2-0 Reds lead. And we are going to be joined here in the booth by Captain Mike Foreman, U.S. Navy retired, NASA astronaut, and Mike welcome to the booth on this night that we're celebrating NASA here at the ballpark. Happy to have you with us.
It's great to be here, Mike, and thank you, the Cleveland Indians, for hosting NASA tonight.
First pitch down at the knees, strike one. Well, it's pretty coincidental, I guess, that you're here, seeing that there's a shuttle up in space right now. Huh?
Fantastic.
The Atlantis is up at the space station.
Right. My last mission in November of last year was on Atlantis. This is Atlantis' next turn. And, a fellow Ohioan, Mike Goods, up there on the STS-132 crew. Just before coming up here to the booth, Mike, I got an email from Mike Good from space. It was pretty neat. He was saying,
wow,
good luck with the first pitch.
And you did well.
Well, thank you.
Well, you've got a little baseball in your background. You were telling us Fausto delivers and misses outside, playing down in Wadsworth.
Down in Wadsworth, yeah, big baseball town. I grew up with a guy named Scott Fletcher. You may have heard of him.
We remember Scotty Fletcher, sure. Played with the White Sox.
Right.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Playing with Scott Fletcher made me realize that I was not going to be a Major League Baseball player.
You know what, though? I think Scott Fletcher might have wanted to go up in space a time or two. Well, everything's relative, isn't it?
You know, we've been good friends for a long time, and he, I don't know how many times he's left me tickets in his baseball career, and so I repaid the favor. I left him some tickets for my first space shuttle launch.
Runner going, and it's a pitch taken, thrown to second base, and the ball gets by the second baseman, Gredzelanek, into center field, a base hit. And you know what, folks? That is going to be an error charged to Mike Redmond. That is the first error that Mike Redmond has made since 2004. How about that? A stolen base, error on the catcher, allowing Jay Bruce to go to third base. So you've seen history here tonight already, Mike. He had 253 consecutive games played, did Mike Redmond, the catcher, without an error.
Tough break. Looked like they would have had him.
Yep. That one hit back to the shortstop, and a good play by the shortstop, Donald. Runner has to hold at third. Johnny Gomes is retired for the first out. What are those guys going through up there right now, Mike? I mean, you were there, what, twice? You make 2 missions?
2 missions to the space station. Right now, the STS-132 crew is sleeping. Their sleep shift, their sleep cycle is such that they'll wake up about a little after midnight here at Cleveland time tonight. And so they're sleeping right now. Tomorrow, for them, which starts just a little after midnight, they'll get up and get ready to undock from the space station.
Pitch taken by Nix. Runner remains at third, and the infield stays in. When was it that you decided or felt like you wanted to join the space program, to go to NASA? The 0-1 pitch is hit high and deep to right. Chew back, Chew looking up. It is gone. High and deep into the seats in right field. Laynce Nix with his 4th home run of the year. And the Reds have scored 2 more here in the 4th inning and lead it 4-0. Wow. So Fausto having his problems tonight. That was launched. We call that the launching pad out there, and you've seen a lot of launching pads, but
that was well hit.
That was a pretty good shot, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
But did you know at one specific time that when you wanted to go into space?
Mike, when I was 8 or 9 years old, I was enthralled by the space program at the time, and just ever since then, I wanted to become an astronaut, and I just, that dream sort of led me down the path. I went to the Naval Academy and flew airplanes in the Navy and applied to NASA about 8 times before they finally selected me, but been well worth it.
Well, to have gone into space twice, 0-2 on Hernandez. The pitch is fouled. Can you describe what the feeling is like? We were talking about it before. What it would be like to sit in that module and lift off, and what the feeling is like when you leave the Earth.
Well, it's pretty fantastic. You're laying on your back. You've been strapped into this vehicle for 3 hours or something, waiting for the countdown, and when those engines start and those solid rockets light off, you know you're going somewhere. You get a kick in the pants like you wouldn't believe, and it's just a wild, thrilling ride for about 8.5 minutes.
Inside, did he go around? He did.
When you get to, after 8.5 minutes, you get to space, you're going 17,500 miles an hour, and that's what keeps us up there in orbit.
Well, we're here tonight, too, talking about the Glenn Space Center out at the airport, which is a great facility, has been around for a while. And that's an experimental facility as well. You said earlier that you may have a chance to come back here in the near future?
Yeah, they actually offered me a job up here for a year to do a rotational assignment.
Ball hit back up the middle, base hit for Stubbs, a 2-out single after Hernandez had struck out.
So I'm going to come back here starting in June, and I'll be at the Glenn Research Center for about a year. My family's staying in Houston, but they'll give me an opportunity to travel back and forth every once in a while.
Well, basically, you're retired from the Navy, but this is a civilian type thing that you're going to be doing?
I'm a civil servant now with NASA, and it's just an opportunity that came up for me to come up here back home and be near some family and friends for a little bit and do something different. You know, I'm an engineer, NASA astronaut, but I'm going to do a little bit different kind of job here, and I think it'll be fun and interesting.
Well, you talked about the dreams that you had when you were 8 years old. I think you're no different than any other kid who lays in bed and wants to be an astronaut or a baseball player or whatever it might be, and that dream fulfilled. You got to take a lot of pride in the accomplishments of going into space.
I got to pinch myself every day, Mike. It's almost unbelievable that it actually happened.
Hit on the ground to short, and the short route to second base is going to be the end of the inning. But Mike, congratulations on your career, and good luck to you. I hope you come back here to Cleveland. Come down and see us again. Watch the Indians
I'd love to come back.
Broadcast. Okay,
thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Captain Mike Foreman with us tonight. It's 4-0 Reds. Back here at Progressive Field, where Travis Hafner takes outside ball one from Johnny Cueto, now staked to a 4-0 lead as Laynce Nix with a 2-run homer. Reds scoring a pair in the fourth. Cueto deals low and outside ball one. Once again, our thanks to Captain Mike Foreman for visiting us here in the booth tonight. Boy, what a thrill to go up in space twice on space missions. Mike Foreman from Wadsworth, Ohio. Popped him up into shallow right. Coming on is Bruce. Camps under it, reaches up, makes the catch, one down. Well, time for the Smuckers It Has to Be Good game summary. So far, it has been all Reds offensively. 2 in the first on base hits by Votto and Bruce to drive in runs, and then the 2-run homer by Laynce Nix in the fourth inning. 4-0 Reds on 7 base hits. Peralta fouls it back. Peralta, then Laporta here in the fourth inning, facing right-hander Johnny Cueto. Not a big guy, but he's a hard thrower. The pitch is hit again into shallow right. Coming on hard, the right fielder Bruce, and calls off Phillips and makes the play. Peralta hit it out on the end of the bat, hit a little flare to shallow right. And Bruce able to get there. 2 down. Good crowd on hand here tonight. 70 degrees at game time, and the sun just beginning to set over Lake Erie. So into the second deck down the right field line. Still some sun shining, but barely a wisp of wind here right now. It is a perfect night. The pitch. Laporta hits a fly ball fairly deep right field. Back goes Bruce. He'll have room at the warning track and makes the catch. 3 fly balls to right field here in the 4th inning for the Indians, who have not done any damage yet tonight. They trail 4-0.
It's a 4-0 Cincinnati lead. 5th inning and a first pitch strike to the number 2 hitter, Brandon Phillips. 1 for 2 with a double. Fausto Carmona into the motion. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, tapped foul, third base side, and the count 0-2. Tom Hamilton, Mike Egan, Jim Rosenhaus with you on a gorgeous night in downtown Cleveland. Thank you, Rosebud, for the scoreboard update. The wind and the 0-2. Down low, 1-2 the count. There were some finals today. Washington beat Baltimore by a final score of 7-6. They've been hanging around that 500 mark. The pitch, Phillips hits a 2-hopper to third, backing up and bobbling it is Peralta. That'll be an error. Once he backed up, he was in trouble. Yep. Peralta with his 3rd error of the year. You back up on Brandon Phillips, now it's really going to be a do-or-die play.
That plus the fact that the way that ball was hit, Tom, that had a lot of top spin to it. And when that ball got to the dirt and hit the top spin hit the dirt, it really sped up and just handcuffed Johnny. Even though it was high, it handcuffed him and hit him on the heel of the glove.
So here's the dangerous Joey Votto. 2 singles and a run batted in. That's the 3rd Indians error, and we're in the 5th inning. That's one thing the Indians have done this year is improved defensively, especially on the infield. But tonight, a throwing error by Trevor Crowe, the center fielder. A throwing error by the catcher, Mike Redmond. The runner goes, Votto takes outside. Redmond throw to second, head first slide, tag not in time. Phillips with his 4th stolen base. 2nd for the Reds tonight. Well, they are aggressive, especially when you've got a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, ball was there, but it looked like Jason Donald tagged him down around the belt, and Brandon got his hand in.
So now Joey Votto has a chance to drive in another run. 4-0 Reds, the pitch. Swung on and missed. He tried to hit that one to 9th Street. 1-1 the count on Votto. The Reds got 2 in the first on RBI singles by Joey Votto and Jay Bruce. Then Laynce Nix, a 2-run homer to right center in the 4th. Now the 1-1. A swing and a bouncing ball to third. Peralta is going to hold Phillips. Now the throw to first in time. Phillips breaks for third. Throw back by Laporta. Ricochets down the left field line. Kicks back into left field where Austin Kearns gets it. Peralta froze Phillips, but Phillips didn't really start back towards second. It froze him. And then when the throw went to first, Phillips broke for third, and Laporta made an awful throw to third. And Brandon Phillips easily got to third and nearly came home. Boy, oh boy, this fielding tonight is contagious. Brandon Phillips aggressively going to third. If that ball doesn't kick off that side wall back into left field, Phillips could have crawled home. So Votto with the infield in now. Scott Rowland fouls one at the plate. Votto, certainly not the way you draw it up, got the runner to third on a ground ball to third.
But you know what, Tom? We're talking about this ball club, the way it's playing right now. We've mentioned it many times in the American League when you watch the Angels. When you play the way this club is playing, you force errors.
Yeah, good point. Yep. Infield in for Rowland, the 0-1. Bounced it in there, and somehow it was caught by Redmond. Well, The Cincinnati Reds, according to their outstanding PR man, Rob Butcher, lead all of Major League Baseball in going from first to third on singles. That's the aggressiveness you're talking about, Mike. Phillips at third. 1 out, 4-0 Reds. Infield in, the 1-1 pitch. Down low, 2-1.
Every once in a while, like Brandon Phillips did last night, you're going to get burned. You're going to burn yourself trying to steal third base. But the odds are, you keep doing it, you're going to have some success.
Carmona working from the set. This is a big at bat here for Roland. The pitch down and in. 3-1. Other finals. Colorado blanked Kansas City today. 3-0. Boy, Colorado has really gotten a shot in the arm. Jeff Francis has returned and is pitching very, very well, and he could become quite the pitch. Swung on, hit high and deep to center. Crow going back. Crow on the track. Jumps in front of the wall and makes the catch. Tagging and scoring is Phillips. Scott Rowland nearly hit a 2-run homer to dead center. He'll settle for his 24th RBI on a sacrifice fly to the track in center. Reds doing everything well right now. Now lead it 5-0. But just was going to complete that thought on the Rockies. Ubaldo Jimenez has proven he's their ace. But now Jeff Francis, what a 1-2 punch he'll give the Rockies if he can stay healthy. 2 down, base is empty. First pitch is high to Jay Bruce.
I was going to say that ball that Scott Rowland hit might have been in the Steamboat down in Great America Ballpark. They got that big steamboat out in center field. He hit that 410 feet.
Well, there's a conference on the mound between Redmond and Carmona. Carmona's having a rough night, although of the 5 runs scored, 2 are unearned. So they hadn't had a whole lot of help. Right now, Milwaukee and Minnesota. How about this one? They're in the 10th inning, tied at 7. Milwaukee scored 5 in the 7th inning. Or the 9th, I beg your pardon. That pitch bunted foul. Bruce with the shift on. Dropped one down third base side foul in the count 1-1. I still don't understand that. With 2 down and your club up 5-0, you would think Dusty Baker would want Jay Bruce to swing away. 3 on the right side of the infield. Peralta playing short. That pitch outside, 2-1. But Milwaukee, which is just having an awful year, and it could cost Kenny Maka his job. The Brewers were trailing going into the 9th inning, 6-2. The 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Brewers score 5 in the top of the 9th to take the lead, and Minnesota ties it in the bottom of the 9th. So the Brewers and Twins 7-7 in the 10th. Here, 5-0 Reds. 5th inning, 2 outs, the wind, the pitch. Ball 4, it's outside. Jay Bruce draws the first walk. Other finals, the White Sox 4-1 winners over the Florida Marlins. And the media having a field day in Chicago about the relationship between GM Kenny Williams and manager Ozzie Guillen. Ozzie Guillen said, I don't know why it's a big deal. Why do we have to be friends? I don't have to be friends with Kenny Williams, even though he said we were once really good friends. Ozzie really knows how to put out a flame. Johnny Gomes takes inside, ball 1.
Silver-tongued W.
Oakland, a 1-0 shutout win over San Francisco behind Gio Gonzalez. Out to the mound now goes pitching coach Tim Belcher.
Boy, this is 3 in a row, Tom, now with Mitch Talbot, Jake Westbrook, and now Fausto tonight. 3 guys who have been pretty consistent of late and struggling with their command.
Angels beat St. Louis 10-7 today. Mets lead the Yankees 3-0 in the 3rd. Cubs lead Texas 3-1 in the 4th. Houston a 1-0 lead on Tampa in the 4th. Rain delay between Atlanta and Pittsburgh. And Toronto batting in the 1st at Arizona. And as you said, Mike, if the Indians starting pitching goes south, Look out. The 1-0. Swung on, fouled at the plate, 1-1. Because really, the Indians' pitching has been better than most envisioned. Earlier this week, the Indians were 5th in the league in pitching. All of a sudden, they're 10th. Doesn't take long, especially this early in the year, to either move up or down. The 1-1, down low, 2-1. And Carmona has labored all night. He's about to make his 90th pitch. And even though 2 of the 5 runs are unearned, he's not been the dominating Carmona tonight. The 2-1 pitch. A swing and a miss by Gomes, who tried to hit one to Lake Erie. 2-2 the count. One thing we know about Johnny Gomes, he does not have a bad back. You can't swing that hard and have a bad back.
It may give you a bad back.
Carmona's pitch. Strike 3 called, and Gomes can't believe it. Reds had another unearned run. 5-0 Cincinnati, middle of the 5th. Johnny Cueto works with a 5-0 lead and delivers a strike to Mark Grudzielanek. Bottom of the 5th inning. Grudzielanek hitting 7th tonight. Grounded out to short his first time up. Cueto's pitch swung on. Fly ball, left field. Moving back and toward the line is Nix to put it away. 1 down. Really not that hard hit. In fact, Indians haven't hit many balls that hard tonight. Cueto has struck out 3, hasn't walked a batter. The Indians have a double by Kearns in the 1st and a Chu single in the 3rd. Here's Mike Redmond, bounced to 2nd, his only time up. Johnny Cueto, the right-hander, rocks and fires. And it's a little wide, ball 1. Tonight's affiliate of the game is WLEC in Sandusky. Thanks to Tom Klein, Mark Fogg, and the entire WLEC staff. The wind, the pitch. Redmond fouling it back. It's 1-1. Nothing Cincinnati, bottom of the 5th. Reds have out hit the Indians 7-3. Now the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. High heat, 1-2. I can't believe our good friend Tom Brenneman is not at this ball game, unless he's down below having a brat and a beer. Tommy, who does such a great job with Reds television and Fox TV. The pitch is high, 2-2.
I think he might take Saturday night off.
He might be, yep. So for all of you in downtown Cleveland, Tommy could be on the loose. Now, he's a terrific guy and an outstanding broadcaster. The son of Marty Brenneman. Now the wind in 2-2. A swing and a flare to right. That's going to slice into the seats out of play. Still 2-2. And Tom Brenneman, an Ohio University Bobcat. Johnny Cueto kicks and fires. Redmond hits a bouncing ball to short. Backhanded by Cabrera. Dropped it. Picks it up. Still throws out Redmond. Cabrera went to the backhand. Knocked it down. Picked it up. Threw Redmond out by 2 steps.
Something in the air tonight. There's a lot of guys that aren't fielding the ball cleanly here. That was a routine play right there. Maybe too routine for Cabrera. Knew he had plenty of time with Redmond running.
Here's Jason Donald. He reached on an error. Well, actually, they changed that to a base hit. Originally, it was ruled an error. Hits a roller to second. Phillips makes the play cleanly this time, and well, the Indians are going in a hurry, so I should make a correction. The Indians now have 3 hits. Really, it's kind of a moot point. They're still getting beat 5-0. We go to inning number 6, and the Indians on the short end by a score of 5-0. And a 1-1 count on the number 7 hitter, Laynce Nix. What a series he is having. He had a 2-run homer to right center in the 4th, his 2nd homer this weekend. Carmona's pitch swung on, bounced foul, right side, and the count now 1-2 strikes. 5 runs, 7 hits for the Reds, nothing on 3 hits for the Indians. Fausto Carmona, 94 pitches, kicks and fires, and the pitch fouled upstairs, and we will do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. Well, we have Kelly Stack and Brianne McLaughlin are with us here. They were signing autographs before the game, and they were members of the United States Women's Hockey Olympic team that took the silver medal. The 1-2, a swing and a miss. Nix is finally retired, and Kelly and Brianne are natives of the Cleveland area. One going to Cuyahoga Heights and the other going to high school at Elyria Catholic, and now play college hockey at Robert Morris and
BC.
Boston College.
Yeah.
What a thrill going to the Olympic Games. And
they have the medals with them, Tom. Those medals have got to weigh about 5 pounds each, don't they? How much does the gold medal weigh?
Here's Ramon Hernandez taking a called strike. I noticed one thing. They're not taking them off their neck.
No. And I would not blame them.
So congratulations to Kelly and Brianne, and how proud Mom and Dad are. Now the wind in the 0-1 pitch. Down low 1-1. If they could only swing a bat, we'd get them in the lineup. 5-0 Reds lead it, 6th inning. Fausto Carmona kicks and fires, and that slider drops in, 1-2 the count. The 2 unearned runs really take this game to a different level. 3-0 is one thing. 5-0 is another story, the way the Indians are struggling to score runs. Now the 1-2 pitch. A swing and a weak bouncer to the second baseman. Mark Rudzolanek throws out Hernandez, 2 down.
Well, and unless they can come back here, Tom, I mean, Fausto, under these circumstances with a couple of unearned runs, is going to give you 6 innings. There's somebody warming up out there now, and this probably will be the last, which is good. I mean, he hasn't pitched well, but he's given you 6. Mitch Talbot gave you 6. But the Indians just they haven't had much comeback in them. They got to get some comeback, something, score some runs.
And when you don't hit a lot of home runs, that makes the comebacks tougher. Pitch down low to Drew Stubbs for ball 1. He's 1 for 2 with a single. You have the ability to consistently hit the long ball. You're never really out of a game. Carmona kicks and delivers. And he almost hit Stubbs. I don't know how he turned out of the way in time, but he just avoided getting drilled in the middle of the bat.
Yeah, that was one of those fastballs that Fausto throws. He wants to throw a sinker. It doesn't sink, but it just tails right into the hitter, and the hitter has to dive out of the way.
Now the wind and the 2-0 pitch. Down low, 3-0. Kelly and Brianne, who will continue their collegiate careers, talking about the thrills of the Olympic Games. And, of course, their coach was Mark Johnson.
Yeah.
Standout at the University of Wisconsin. Played about a dozen years in the National Hockey League. And, of course,
played for his dad over there.
Part of the miracle at Lake Placid. That pitch at the knees, a strike, 3-1.
Well, of course, he played for Herb Brooks in the Olympics. Bob Johnson at Wisconsin.
3-1 pitch, inside ball 4. Of course, for Kelly and Brianne, they've had to watch how that unfolded since they weren't around in 1980.
You know what's interesting, Tom, and there are certain things, certain milestones that you remember, and I mean, no matter who you ask, they remember where they were that day.
They sure
do. That's
do.
like the Kennedy situation, you know, and everybody knows where they were that day in Dallas.
Here's Orlando Cabrera. Runner takes off, pitch inside. Redmond might as well put the ball in his back pocket. Boy, oh boy. Drew Stubbs was halfway to second as Carmona was coming to the plate. Stubbs has his 10th stolen base. He's only been caught once. And the Reds tonight are 3 for 3 in steals. And with 2 down, a runner at second, Cincinnati up 5-0 in the 6th. Carmona this year has now allowed 14 stolen bases, and only 2 runners have been caught. The pitch swung on, line to center, but Trevor Crowe reaches down, makes a knee-high catch of the sinking liner. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Reds 5 and the Indians nothing. Well, Johnny Cueto already has a 1-hit shutout this year. He's working on a 3-hit shutout. 5-0 Reds, bottom of the 6th, and the first pitch high and wide, ball 1. The Indians' leadoff hitter, Trevor Crowe, has struck out and tapped to the mound. He'll bat left-handed. 3 hits for the Indians. The wind on the 1-0. Just a bit low, 2-0. Cueto has struck out 3, has not walked a batter, and he's only made 62 pitches as we begin the 6th inning. The 2-0, that's a bit high, not by much, but it's ball 3, 3-0. Chu and Kearns to follow. The wind and delivery, that's ball 4. He missed high, so Cueto, who had not walked a batter, walks Crowe on 4 pitches to start the 6th. Here's Shin-Soo Choo, 1 for 2 with a single to left. Another big day for you kids tomorrow, the KeyBank Kids Fun Day, when the Indians and Reds wrap things up at 105. You name it, it's going on at the Gateway Plaza. And Leroy Kelly and Anthony Munoz, a couple of NFL Hall of Famers, will be giving out autographs. So get here early and get your tickets at Indians.com. The pitch, Cueto gets Chu to swing and miss at a 95-mile-an-hour heater. He hasn't lost any velocity. The pitch just did nick the inside corner, a strike, 0-2. The right fielder, Jay Bruce, is probably 75 feet off the line.
Yeah, they really bunch the gaps, don't they? Even the left fielder playing over off the line.
The pitch, high heat, 1-2. Well, we'll see another flamethrower tomorrow, Homer Bailey. And we haven't seen Mike Leake. But if you were going to name a National League Rookie of the Year, he'd probably be a unanimous choice right now. Boy, the Reds have a very good young starting rotation, and they still have Chapman coming. The pitch, fisted back foul, and the count remains 1-2. Chapman is the very expensive Cuban import.
Yeah.
$5-0 Cincinnati. Indians batting in the 6th. The runner on with nobody out. Chu awaiting the 1-2 delivery. Here it comes. A check swing. He went around. That's 4 strikeouts for Cueto. Chu doesn't agree with the home plate umpire, but Angel Campos said, I didn't need any help on that one. Here's Austin Kearns, a double and a fly out. Austin Kearns, we've talked about it throughout the year. He went to spring training as a non-roster invitee. Really the first time in his career. The pitch. He swings and bloops one foul, first base side into the seats, strike 1. I mean, granted, when he initially came up with the Reds, he was going to spring training trying to make a team, but he knew it was only a matter of time as a first-round pick. But he said this spring he really never was nervous. And he said, usually I'm my own worst enemy. He got better as the spring went on, made the club as a fourth outfielder. Now he's hitting third and playing every day as he takes down and in, 1 ball, 1 strike. Kern said it's all about being healthy. And this is a guy that has missed the equivalent of 2 years playing time by being on the DL 7 times. He hits one foul off the end of the bat into the Reds' first base dugout.
Well, you know what, too, Tom? It's about being in the right place in the right time and knowing the right people. I mean, Manny Acta was a guy who had Kearns for a couple of years, knew he was hurt, and liked the way he played baseball. You never know who you're going to impress every time you take the field and play baseball, whether it's going to be a scout in the stands, a manager, a coach, somebody where down the road they can help you get another job if you give them, your best effort.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Underneath the arms, ball 2.
And that's what happened with Austin. I mean, he was hurt for the last 2 years. You just look at numbers and you say, well, his career's over. But when you take a closer look at how he played through the injuries, tried to play through them, he's a tough customer.
And he'll tell you, too, he's in better shape. So he's healthy, physically better shape, and a swing and a miss as Cueto threw it by him. 5 strikeouts for Cueto. He must have a little extra giddy up as the ball gets to the plate.
I don't know if that might have been a cutter. Again, it says 93, but it looked like it was something that at the tail end might have had a little run to it away from Austin Kearns that ran off the end of his bat. That's the one thing that we can't see from our vantage point. And really, Tom, that camera angle doesn't give you the look at that tail end unless it's a lot of sink.
Well, the one thing you don't see tonight, a lot of swings and foul balls.
No, there have been some swings and misses.
2 down, runner on, 5-0 Reds, 6th inning. Travis Hafner 0 for 2, takes a called strike. And again, the theme for the Reds, pound the strike zone, and all night long, first pitch strikes on fastballs from Cueto to almost every Indians hitter. The 0-1, way outside, 1-1. It sounds so simple. It's a lot easier when you throw 95, 96.
Isn't that the truth?
Not much of a lead for Crow at first. The right-hander's pitch runs high and wide. 2 balls and a strike. Cueto goes to the rosin bag, steps off the mound. It's actually kind of a muggy night. It's only 70 degrees, but humidity in the air. Cueto wearing the long sleeves. Shaking off Hernandez. Now they're on the same page. He delivers. A swing and a miss. There was that cutter in on the hands.
Yeah. Well, this is a winter's day in Santo Domingo, isn't it? 70 degrees. A January day. I don't even know if it gets 70 degrees down there.
2-2 the count. Yeah, they would call that a winter storm warning. Let's see if he does the same pitch on Hafner. It's been tough on the lefties all night. Either a hard slider or late breaking cutter.
But he keeps it, has kept it right in on their hands or missing off the plate, just off the plate inside.
The 2-2 went away with a fastball, full count.
Well, that's a smart catcher back there. That third time around, when you get those people looking inside and thinking inside, you go away. I mean, that's the way pitching happens. That's the way you get through a ball game.
Crow will be off. The payoff, a swing and a foul. Shot it into the third base seating section, and that went screaming into the seats. And Hernandez out to the mound. And the count stays full. 5-0 Reds. A young fan caught that screamer. And right now, Dad is saying, oh, thank heavens you brought your glove.
What's the big deal, he's saying? It was right there. I just speared it. The guy behind him is saying thank you, too.
Wow, that kid made a heck of a play. Considering what we've seen defensively tonight, that is the play of the game. Full count now on Hafner. The payoff pitch. Swung on, fouled off into the Reds dugout this time. And we'll do it again at 3-2. Reds with a win tonight assume first place. Cardinals get beat by the Angels today, 10-7. Again, the 3-2 pitch. Swung at and belted. Deep right center. This ball is gone. Travis Hafner with a 2-run home run to right center. What a battle between Hafner and Cueto. And Travis wins it with his 4th home run. And the Indians now trail it 5-2.
Well, that's the kind of at-bat and kind of swing that you've been waiting for from Travis Hafner. He got out in front of a 96-mile-an-hour fastball and hit it into the Indians' bullpen in right center field.
Well, maybe that'll wake up the offense. Here's Johnny Peralta 0 for 2. 6th home run off Cueto this year. The line, the pitch, a swing and a miss. Good slider away. And that is strike 1. Travis Hafner now 4 homers, 15 RBIs, and a 10-game hitting streak. The line and the 0-1. Inside, 1-1. Just the 4th hit of the game for the Indians, but they're now down 3. The 1-1. Outside 2-1, and you get back to the errors that have given the Reds 2 runs.
Yep. Well, and the other thing is, Tom, I was looking at that hitting streak for Travis tonight before the ball game, coming in with 9 straight. But no home runs, 3 RBIs. This is what you need from Travis Hafner right here. In a 9-game or a 10-game hitting streak, you need 3 home runs.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe this will get him going. I mean, that was as good a stroke, as good a swing as I've seen him put on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball in a month. I mean, he got the head of the bat out and drove that ball into right center field.
And he finally got that pitch after a lot of 2-strike foul balls. We had just mentioned there weren't many off Cueto. The 2-1 to Peralta, and he taps it foul, 2-2. So Hafner spoiled some tough pitches and then hammered one. 5-2, Reds still lead it though. 2 outs, nobody on, 6th inning. Cueto rocks into his motion and the pitch. Swung on, a little bloop job, first base side, foul ball into the seats, just over the Reds dugout. And we'll do it again at 2-2. Boy, Milwaukee and Minnesota are still playing. 7-7 in the 12th inning. Brewers scored 5 in the 9th to take a 1-run lead. Twins tied it in their half of the 9th. The 2-2 just missed, I guess, inside. Full count on Peralta. And really, for the first time tonight, Cueto's gone deep into the count on several hitters.
Yeah, he's over 20 pitches this inning.
The wind and payoff. Ball 4, he missed low. So he's walked a pair this inning. And the Indians have a runner aboard with 2 down for Matt Laporta, who twice has flied out to the warning track in right. Laporta's come close twice. Johnny Cueto is shaking his pitching hand as if he would have a blister on his finger. Not saying he does, but he is shaking that pitching hand normally in a way you don't see a pitcher shake it. Peralta at first, 2 down. 5-2 Reds. Laporta looks at a slider strike. Matt Laporta's hit just 1 home run this year. 2 long fly ball outs tonight. The pitch. Up and in with the hard stuff. 1-1 the count. Gorgeous night in Cleveland. Just a wisp of a breeze. And now Micah Owings will start to loosen up in the Reds bullpen. Reds bullpen has been spotty. The 1-1. High heat, 2-1. All of a sudden, Cueto's kind of lost it. He's looking into the dugout and looking at his finger, and I wonder if he has a blister.
Well, you caught it, Tom. I mean, I didn't notice it, but you said he was shaking that hand, and he's still shaking it. Now, Trainer coming out, Dusty's coming out.
That's what it has to be.
Yeah.
That, or you have a fingernail that you broke. But they're going to look at his pitching hand.
Well, if it's the one of the two, you got to hope it's a fingernail that he broke and not a blister.
I bet his night is done, though. 5-2 the score. Reds on top. Peralta at first with 2 down. Everybody but Dr. Kremchek is out on the mound for Cincinnati. Now Dusty Baker's looking at the finger.
He wants another look.
Dusty's saying, I'm not a doctor, but that doesn't look right. And the home plate umpire is like.
Well, what's interesting, Tom, is as you said, he was shaking it, after that last pitch, stood back and looked into the dugout, and now he's telling him he wants to pitch. I want to pitch, but I want you to know that I've got this hangnail.
And if I give up another bomb,
it's the hangnail's fault.
Well, Johnny Cueto has pitched to beauty. He's just run into a tough spot here in the 6th that started with a leadoff walk to Trevor Crowe. Then he struck out Chew and Kearns. A long battle, that Hafner won with a 2-run homer. The walk to Peralta. Now the pitch to Laporta, and he pops it up. Third baseman Scott Rowland into shallow left near the foul line makes the catch. The Indians get on the board, but they trail the Reds 5-2 after 6.
New pitcher on for the Tribe as we reach the 7th inning here at Progressive Field. The Indians showing a flicker of hope in the bottom of the 6th as Travis Hafner's 2-run home run has made it a 5-2 ball game. Jamie Wright is on in relief of Fausto Carmona to start the 7th inning. Carmona goes 6, allows 7 hits and 5 runs, 3 of which were earned. He walked 2 and struck out 4. Jamie Wright, the 35-year-old out of Dallas, will face Brandon Phillips, then Joey Votto and Scott Rowland here in the 7th inning. Thus far tonight, Phillips 1 for 3 with a double. He's also reached on an error, and he's scored twice. The pitch from Wright, low and inside for ball 1. On the season, Wright is 1-2 with an earned run average of 5.17. That's over 14 relief appearances. 15 2/3 innings. He's allowed 15 hits, walking 6, striking out 6. And his next pitch is chopped toward third, just foul as Peralta grabbed it right near that third base bag. Jim Rosenhaus along with Mike Egan and Tom Hamilton on this beautiful Saturday night. We had some shower activity during the day, but it has turned out to be a nice night for baseball downtown and a decent-sized crowd on hand. Many looking forward to the post-game fireworks show for a second night in a row. Wright works from the stretch at all times. Here's his pitch. Breaking ball misses inside. The count's now 2-1 on Brandon Phillips. Phillips, after that slow start, starting to pick it up now. Those last 3 weeks or so, he's hitting above 300. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss as he chased a high fastball that time, and it's 2-2. The Reds with 5 runs on 7 hits. Indians with 2 runs on 4 hits. And the Tribe has committed 3 errors tonight. Unusual for a team that has played some solid defense much of the season. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball swung on and foul tipped at home plate. And that got a piece of the catcher, Mike Redmond. You know, Mike, first time in a while that Fausto Carmona struggled somewhat, but still he's able to make it through 6 innings and keep his team in the game on a down night.
I mean, he wasn't wild, but he didn't have great command. He only walked 2 batters, but a lot of his stuff had too much of the plate and it was up too much. He just didn't seem to have the good sharp movement tonight.
Here's the 2-2. Swung on, and there's a high drive out toward deep right center. Long run for Crow, still going, reaches out, can't make the catch as he dove on the warning track. The ball 1 hops off the fence, and Chu will fire it back in, but not before Brandon Phillips is standing at second base with a double.
Boy, that really had some hang time to it, but Crow was playing at Phillips about straight away, maybe a shade to pull. And the wind has kicked up now. That ball, I think, carried a lot farther than Trevor thought it was going to. He had to finally make a kind of a spread out dive at the warning track, and it hit the base of the wall.
Double number 14 on the season for Phillips.
Brandon Phillips has 2 doubles here tonight, and once again, we talked about it last night. He could be in a slump, but he sees an Indians uniform and had 2 hits last night, a home run, 2 doubles tonight.
Well, we talk about it seemingly every time the Indians face a team that has a former player, and they always seem to do well, and Phillips falling right in line. Here's Joey Votto. Votto tonight is 2 for 3 as he continues a hot stretch at the plate. RBI single in the first, a single in the third. Left-handed hitter, the pitch from right. Breaking ball drops in there for strike 1. Now, we saw it last night. The Indians had tied the game, and then Aaron Laffey came on late and allowed a pair of runs, and the Reds retook the lead and went on to the 7-4 win. A little bit different situation here for Wright, but trying to keep it reasonably close in the 7th inning. Here's the pitch to Votto. Down low. 1-1 to count. Sometimes when you try and measure the value of relievers, well, there's no stat that kind of covers how they do in terms of keeping it close, giving your team a chance to come back. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball swung on line foul, third base.
That's the job of that middle man, middle/long man, Jim, in games like this where the Indians have gotten on the board. It's only a 3-run game. You've got to now, if you hope to be able to come back, you've really got to shut this Reds club down for another 4 innings. Give the offense a chance to come back again.
Pickoff play at second. Good throw, but Phillips able to dive back in safely. I thought Dusty Baker yesterday summed it up very well. His team has been outstanding at coming from behind to win. They have 14 comeback wins, 10 victories in their last at bat. He said if it weren't for some strong relief pitching to keep games close, we wouldn't be able to do that. They've had the good relief pitching when they've fallen behind. It hasn't gotten out of hand late. Here's the 1-2. Votto swings, pops it up foul down that left field line and bending toward the seats, out of play. So Votto stays alive with 2 strikes, a 1-2 count on it. Now working on a modest 7-game hit streak. But he has been red hot during that time. 12 out of 28 at the plate. Looking down this Reds lineup, you see hot hitters. Here's Wright's 1-2. Swung on, fouled off over toward his own on deck circle on the first base side. 5-2, Cincinnati leads. They scored 2 in the first, 2 more in the fourth, and another in the fifth to take a 5-0 lead. And then Hafner hit the home run in the bottom of the 6th. With a man aboard. To put the Tribe on the board. At least for now, give them some hope. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, line foul, third base seats. Votto tough here with 2 strikes.
Making contact, fouling off tough pitches, and of course Phillips down there with nobody out. A guy like Votto, Jim, you don't think of him giving himself up. He's the number 3 hitter in the lineup. 3-run lead. By that I mean just settling for a ground ball to the right side to get the runner to third base. You want him to drive him in.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on, grounded foul outside of first. Some of these pitches by Wright outside the strike zone, but Votto's taking no chances with 2 strikes. I want to welcome in our season ticket holder of the game. It's Penny Peterlin of Brecksville, an Indian season ticket holder since 1994. Again, a 1-2 pitch coming to Joey Votto with Phillips out at second. Wright delivers. Way outside and low. 2-2. Day baseball tomorrow to close out the series. The homestand continues for the Tribe Monday. The White Sox coming in, but tomorrow another KeyBank Hits Fun Day. 1:05 first pitch. Wright sets up high. And he steps on. Another look at David Huff tomorrow. He's 1-6 coming in for the Indians. ERA of 5.36 against hard-throwing right-hander Homer Bailey, who's 1-2 with an ERA of 5.21. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on, grounded sharply to the second baseman. One hop backhand stopped by Grudzelanic, who throws on to first in time. That moves the base runner along. Phillips down to third with less than 2 down.
Well, he ended up just hitting that ground ball to the right side, but that was a pretty good at bat. Good battle there between Joey Votto and Jamie Wright.
So here's Scott Rowland, who's 0 for 2, but drove in a run with a sac fly back in the 5th inning. Rowland with those 8 home runs, now 24 runs driven in. Infield in for the Tribe. Here's the pitch. And Rowland takes it low and in for ball 1. Like I remember when that trade was made with the Blue Jays last summer. A lot of folks in baseball wondered, why would the Reds do that? Pick up an older player, a little bit more expensive than maybe they had been used to paying.
Yeah.
He has really solidified things both in the clubhouse and on that left side of the infield.
That's the key right there.
Here's the 1-0. That's down low, 2-0.
Young ball club, veteran leadership. Cabrera there now. Talking about basically, other than Cabrera and Rowland, which constitute the left side of the infield, and Hernandez, there's not a lot of veteran presence on this ball club.
The 2-0 pitch, that's up and in for ball 3. Rowland was acquired from the Blue Jays at the trade deadline last year for third baseman Edwin Encarnacion, and then pitchers Josh Renicky and Zach Stewart. The 3-0 pitch, and that's up high for ball 4. He missed with 4 straight. Runners on the corners now for the Reds, with only 1 away here in the 7th. Cincinnati already leading it by a score of 5-2. But you look at that trade, at least right now, certainly heavily favors Cincinnati. That could change down the road when the two young pitchers have a chance to develop. But well, the Reds have to like that deal right now.
Well, the way they're playing and the need that Roland fits on this ball club.
Here's Jay Bruce. 2 hits tonight. An RBI single back in the first, an infield single in the fourth, and he swings and he lines one out toward right center. That falls in for a base hit. Brandon Phillips will score. Roland's on his way to third. It's an RBI single for Jay Bruce, and the Reds now lead it 6-2.
Well, there's another first to third for the Reds. They lead all of baseball in that category. Phillips scores. Roland goes to third.
And the beat goes on for Cincinnati. RBI number 18 on the year for Jay Bruce. Here's Johnny Gomes. 0 for 3. He hit a home run halfway up the bleachers here last night. Another hitter going through a torrid stretch at the plate, and he chops one back to the mound. Right, fires to second for one. Grudzielanek to first, double play. Side retired, the Reds score a run. Stretch time at Progressive Field with the score. Cincinnati 6, the Indians 2. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Before we do, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the Cleveland Indians Radio Network. New pitcher on for Cincinnati. It's right-hander Micah Owings, who delivers to Mark Grudzielanek up and in for ball 1. It's 6-2 Reds. As we are underway in the bottom of the 7th, and Owings delivers a strike on the inside corner to even it up on Grudzielanek at 1-1. Mark Grudzielanek is grounded to short and fly to left in 2 trips. Good work tonight by Red starter Johnny Cueto. The 1-1 from Owings, low and outside, 2-1. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. The 2-run home run last inning by Travis Hafner, the only blemish for Cueto. He walked 2, struck out 5. The 2-1. Swung on, popped up, out towards shallow center. Cruising back is the second baseman Phillips, who makes the catch. 1 away in the bottom half of the 7th inning, and we want to remind you that voting is now open for the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. Help send your favorite Indians to this year's game by voting up to 25 times at Indians.com. For Micah Owings this season, this is appearance number 11. He's 3-0 with an earned run average of 4.15. He faces Mike Redmond, who's 0 for 2, and Redmond takes a strike on the inside corner. Owings certainly filling a valuable role for the Reds in their bullpen. Here's the 0-1. Low and outside, 1-1. But I think as long as his major league career lasts, he'll always be known as one of the best hitting pitchers in the game. We'll get a chance to do that here this weekend, unless they use him as a pinch hitter, which isn't as far-fetched as it sounds, as the next pitch is down low 2-1.
Well, he's had 9 at-bats already this year and has homered with 2 RBIs, hitting only 111, but 1 for 9. The hit has been a home run.
And of course, he's in the National League, so he might hit, but 4 times he's been used as a pinch hitter. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, line foul, and out of play first base side. And Mike, if you're the guy he pinch hits for, are you offended?
Not the way he hits, I don't think that you are.
You're okay with it?
Yeah, I think you're okay with it. But the other strength and what he brings to the ball club late in the game.
Here comes the 2-2, down low.
Is, especially if he's pitching well, you don't have to pinch hit for him. So you can send him back out there for another inning.
And again, that's not a big factor here in an American League park, but he's on a National League club, so that comes into play, I'm sure, quite a bit. The payoff pitch. Swung on, popped up on the infield, right near the catcher's area, in foul ground, coming back Hernandez, and he makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down for the Indians here in the 7th. If a wedding proposal is in your future, make the big moment even more memorable with the Indians proposal package, including a little help from Tribe mascot Slider. And after she says yes, you'll be whisked away to a Terrace Club dinner for 2 and a special champagne toast. Call 216-420-HITS for more information. Here's Jason Donald, 1 for 2 tonight. His base hit, an infield single back in the 3rd inning. Originally, it was called an error on the second baseman, Brandon Phillips, but then it was switched a little while later. First pitch to him on the inside corner, strike 1. Owings right back. Next pitch, ripped toward third, dug out by Rowland. Throws to first. In time, side retired. Indians go in order in the bottom of the 7th. We head to the 8th. 6-2 Reds. Step, where are we at? Thank you.
Laynce Nix will lead off the Cincinnati 8th. 6-2 Reds. Right-hander Jamie Wright, second inning of work, delivers a backdoor breaking ball that misses wide for ball 1. Nix 1 for 3 with a 2-run homer to right center. So he's had 2 home runs and 4 RBIs in the first 2 games of this series. The set, the pitch. Outside, ball 2, 2-0. When last night's game started, Laynce Nix on the year had 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. He's added 2 home runs and 4 RBIs in this series. The 2-0 pitch from Jamie Wright. A swing and a bullet hit to right. Man, he is locked in. 5 hits in the series for Nix, and he is scorching everything when he makes contact. And to bring up Ramon Hernandez, 0 for 3, the right-handed hitting catcher, as we bring you the McDonald's I'm Loving It game summary. Reds got a couple of runs in the first inning. Joey Votto and Jay Bruce had RBI singles. Then Laynce Nix hit a 2-run homer to right center in the 4th. Scott Rowland's sac fly in the 5th made it 5-0. Indians finally got on the board in the 6th inning on Travis Hafner's 2-run homer to right center. Jay Bruce added another Reds run with an RBI single in the 7th. Both starters went 6 innings. Fausto Carmona giving up 5 runs but only 3 earned. Johnny Cueto giving up 2 runs. 6-2 Cincinnati, 8th inning. The pitch to Hernandez, and he swings. It's a high chopper over the mound. Charged in front of second by Donald. The shortstop got it on the short hop. Running toward first, made the throw to get Hernandez, and that was a do-or-die play.
Yeah, that was a tough play because it was on the dead run, and really it was more kind of in between. I mean, that ball hit the grass and came up on him. He caught it about knee-high. That was a tough play on the dead run. No question. He's got some good actions defensively.
Now Drew Stubbs, the number 9 hitter, 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Reds 6 runs, 10 hits. The Indians 2 runs, 4 hits. This is the 8th. Jamie Wright comes set, and he lets it fly. And Stubbs takes at the knees a called strike. Tonight's attendance, 25,531. On a gorgeous night off the shores of Lake Erie. 70 degrees at game time. Light breeze blowing out. Now the 0-1 pitch. And Drew Stubbs takes down and in 1-1. Cincinnati, they've had one of those starts to a season that, well, can really lead to a special season. they are finding ways to win games late. Now, that's not the case tonight. The pitch swung on and missed, 1-2 the count. But the Reds already this season have won 10 ball games in their last at bat. And when you do that early in a season, it starts to have a snowball effect. And it can really build momentum for the rest of the campaign. 10 last at bat wins for the Cincinnati Reds. Now Wright is ready in the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, tapped foul, third base side.
Well, as Dusty was saying yesterday, Tom, that builds the confidence that when you face the situation, you expect it to happen.
And the Reds, arguably as big a surprise maybe as any team in the National League. They had that sluggish start, but they've really put it all together. Now the 1-2. Down low, 2-2. And again, this tells you all you need to know about spring training numbers. The Indians and Reds met 6 times in spring training. The Indians won every game except the last one that ended in a tie. Now the set and the 2-2. Breaking ball, dips low, full count. Well, you look at Cincinnati, and before they started playing well, I mean, they were sitting there on April 24th with a record of 7-11. And a lot of people probably in Cincinnati going, geez, another one of these years. Mm-hmm. But since they were 7-11, they've now won 17 and lost 7. And they're winning tonight. The pitch swung on, ripped to left field. That's another base hit. Around third, stopping is Nix. Kearns with a good throwing arm got to that ball quickly. And so you've got Nix at third, Drew Stubbs with his second hit at first, and Jamie Wright's given up 4 hits here in an inning and a third. Top of the order in Orlando Cabrera. The problem right now for the Indians, lately they can't get anybody coming out in middle relief to hold the fort.
Yeah, and that's what Jim and I were talking about. After Travis's home run, you need somebody to come and hold them for 3 innings and give the offense another chance. It's tough enough to come back from 5 runs once. It's doubly difficult to come back from 5 runs 2 or 3 times.
Now you've got the top of the order in Orlando Cabrera, 0 for 4. The Indians have lefty Rafael Perez heating up in the bullpen. 6-2 Cincinnati. Reds at the corners. 1 out, 8th inning. Reds have now out-hit the Indians 11-4. Big gap in left center for Cabrera. Wright tossed to first, and back standing is Stubbs. Now, Stubbs swiped his 10th base of the season back in the 6th inning, as the Reds were 3 for 3 in stolen bases tonight off Fausto Carmona. The set, and coming off the rubber is Wright, faking that throw to first. When it comes to base runners, Jamie Wright out of the Indians bullpen this year, as he sets and now steps off. Base stealers have been 4 for 4. Wright's ready. The pitch. There goes Stubbs. Pitch taken high. Throw to second. Bounces in. The Reds have their 4th steal tonight. That wasn't even close. Stubbs has his 2nd and 11 on the year. And now the Reds have runners at 2nd and 3rd. 1 out. That'll take care of a double play. Unless you line out into one. Now the Indians bring the infield partway in. They'll play even with the bags around the infield. The pitch. A swing and a miss. Chased one away. And the count 0-2. It's finally over in Minnesota. Brewers scored 5 in the 9th to take the lead. Minnesota tied it in the bottom of the ninth, and Jason Kubel's sac fly in the 12th gives Minnesota an 8-7 win over the Brewers. And Minnesota started the day a game better than Detroit, leading the Central. That pitch hit sharply to third, backhanded by Peralta. He'll come home with it. In a rundown, they've got Nix. Peralta takes the return throw from Redmond, tags out Nix. Stubbs goes to third. Cabrera stays at first. So nothing has changed from the standpoint the Reds still have a runner at third, but now there are 2 men out.
Well, once Nix saw that Peralta was going to make the play on him at the plate, he did the right thing. He got himself in a rundown. And he stayed in the rundown long enough to let that runner get to third base. So basically they've got the same situation they had before, except that there's a runner at first instead of second.
And there are 2 men out for Brandon Phillips, who's now 2 for 4 with 2 doubles and 3 runs scored. Reds up 6-2. Runners at the corners. 2 down. The pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? Evidently not. Pitch was low. Ball 1. Washington turned back Baltimore today, 7-6. Well, how about Ty Wigginton? 13 home runs for the Orioles' second baseman, who's played at second for the injured Brian Roberts. The 1-0. Inside corner, a strike. Wigginton has more home runs this year than he had all of last season. Angels outslugged St. Louis today, 10-7. Oakland blanked San Francisco 1-0. 3-hitter for Gio Gonzalez. The pitch to Phillips. He waves at it. 1-2 the count. Colorado got a shutout from Jeff Francis and the bullpen. Rockies beat Kansas City 3-0. Gavin Floyd pitched Chicago to a 4-1 win over Florida. Arizona bombing Toronto 8-1 in the 4th. LA leads Detroit. Dodgers up 6-2 in the 7th. Boston has a 5-0 lead on Philadelphia in the 7th inning in Philly. And Daisuke Matsuzaka has a no-hitter through 6 innings and has a base hit. 2-0 Atlanta leads Pittsburgh in the 2nd. Tampa Bay with a 3-2 lead on Houston in the 8th. Cubs in Texas 3-3 in the 8th. Mets lead the Yankees 3-1 in the 6th. Now the pitch. Runner goes, and Phillips sends a liner to fairly deep center. Back to make the shoulder high catch is Crow. Phillips hit it hard, but the Reds fail to score. 6-2 Cincinnati leads, middle of the 8th. Daniel Herrera coming on for the Cincinnati Reds as we go to the bottom of the 8th. 6-2 Cincinnati. So Micah Owings works a 1-2-3 7th. Herrera, one of the rarities now in baseball, in that he throws a screwball, which works down and away to the right-handed hitters. The left-hander sets, and the first pitch to Trevor Crow, who bats right-handed, is low and away, ball 1. Crow, the switch hitter, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Daniel Herrera, fastball, curve, and screwball. Sets and deals. And a curveball is high, 2-0. Herrera is only 5'6" and 165 pounds. But he's a good one. No wins, a loss, an ERA of 3.27, 19th outing. The pitch. That's in there. And the count goes to 2-1. Herrera has 1 walk in 11 innings. However, he's given up 16 hits, which means teams are batting .333 against him. He appeared in 70 games last year for the Reds as a rookie. The 2-1 pitch. Crow takes, it's high, 3-1. Threw him another curveball at 76 miles an hour. Daniel Herrera out of Odessa, Texas, played at the University of New Mexico. And he is a graduate of Permian High School in Odessa. Remember that school from Friday Night Lights? The 3-1 swung on, cued off the end of the bat, foul to the right. Full count. Terrific movie. Friday Night Lights, an even better book. Daniel Herrera trying to keep the Reds up 4 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Indians trying to snap a 5-game slide. The payoff to Crow. Swung on, popped up. Right by the pitcher's mound. Herrera's calling. Now he gets out of the way. The first baseman, Joey Votto, ran up the back of the mound. And Herrera wisely got out of the way, or he would have been roadkill for Joey Votto. That is out number 1. That'll bring up Shin-Soo Choo, 1 for 3 with a single. The Indians have mustered 4 hits. A 2-run homer by Travis Hafner. The only reason they're on the board. The pitch to Choo. And a curve sweeps down and away, ball 1. David Huff and Homer Bailey, your matchup tomorrow at 105. Homer Bailey is giving up a lot of home runs. He has an ERA of 5.21, and David Huff has had his own struggles, although he did show improvement his last time out. Now the 1-0 pitch. Another curve drops low, and the count 2-0. Indians just can't seem to get any sustained rallies going. They hit here and there, but nothing strung together. The pitch to Chewy, waved at it, and the count 2-1. Tried to hold up, but he chased it. And without Grady Sizemore as Drupal Cabrera, the job got a whole lot tougher. Daniel Herrera takes too much time, and Chew steps out. Now the set and the pitch. A swing and a bouncing ball to the second baseman. Sliding to his left, Phillips has it and throws out Chew. It'll bring up Austin Kearns, 1 for 3 with a double.
Well, Trevor Crow has been a leadoff hitter, top of the order hitter, probably his whole life, Tom, since he was in Little League. But, boy, it's a lot different when you're 25 or 26 years old and basically a rookie to come up to the big leagues and be a leadoff hitter every day in a big league lineup.
Baptism by fire. Here's Austin Kearns taking its off speed, and it's in there straight.
That's right. Really, he was in a perfect spot with as Drupal Cabrera leading off and Trevor batting ninth.
Yeah. Yep. The 0-1 pitch. Down low, off speed again. That was 68 miles an hour. I don't know if he's throwing a fastball yet. 1-1 the count.
That had to be the screwball.
6-2, Reds in the 8th, 2 down, nobody on. The pitch to Kearns. A swing and a shot to right field. There was an 85-mile-an-hour fastball, and Kearns shot it the other way for his second hit. And the Indians have their 5th hit, but again it comes with 2 down. The Indians tonight have had 5 hits. 4 of them have been with 2 men out. Here's Travis Hafner. He got a 2-out, 2-run homer to right center in the 6th. His 4th bomb, 15 RBIs. The Indians are down 6-2 in the 8th with 2 down and a runner on. Daniel Herrera. He was a former Texas Ranger who came in that trade involving Josh Hamilton and Edinson Volquez. Delivers a curveball strike. The trade's really worked out well for both teams. Volquez, though, is recovering from Tommy John surgery and an illegal supplement. The pitch, curveball outside, 1-1. That's Volquez suspended for 50 days, but he's able to serve his suspension while he's on the DL.
Makes no sense.
None whatsoever. As the baseball GM said when we were on the last road trip, if you're hurt, why not take a chance and take something? The pitch down low, 2-1. If you get caught, it doesn't matter. And if it helps you get healthier quicker, then who knows about it? If they don't catch you. But if they do catch you, you're out anyway. So serving the suspension really serves no purpose. Now the 2-1 pitch. Outside corner, a strike, 2-2. But boy, when they get a healthy Edinson Volquez back, again, what a boost that'll be to this Reds rotation, which is already pretty solid. Johnny Cueto gave them 6 good innings tonight. Now the 2-2 to Hafner. Curveball, down and away, full count.
Really a screwballer, and this guy probably more effective against right-handers than left-handers. Because he certainly doesn't throw hard. He's maybe drop down and throw a big breaking ball, a sweeping curveball to the lefty.
The payoff, a swing and a liner back up the middle. Base hit center field. Kearns will scamper to third, and Travis Hafner's 2 for 4. So after 2 outs, back-to-back singles, Indians at the corners for Johnny Peralta, and Dusty Baker will make a pitching change, brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Reds 6, Indians 2. We're in the 8th. Nick Massett, hard-throwing right-hander, making appearance number 24, 3-2 the record, 7.20 the ERA, and talked about these numbers last night. In 20 innings, he has struck out 30. He's also walked 12, and teams are hitting .313 off of him. That just doesn't compute, Mike.
Great stuff, but makes mistakes.
Yeah, evidently, yeah. That's it exactly. Johnny Peralta 0 for 2 with a walk. He'll bat with Indians at the corners. 2 down, tried down 6-2. Massett was really good for the Reds a year ago.
That's what I was going to say, Tommy. It looked like he was going to be maybe a closer type guy.
He worked in 74 games, had a .237 ERA a year ago. The set in the pitch. At the knees, a strike. And who knows? Those were all career numbers. Maybe he's feeling the impact of 74 appearances. You never know. Right-hander against right-hander. Nick Massett sets and lets it fly. A swing and a miss. Boy, that was a good sinking fastball at 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter right there. That good hard sinker, straight over the top, straight down.
That pitch was unhittable. 0-2 the count. Boy, he throws one like that. You can see how he strikes out at 1.5 batters per inning. The 0-2 pitch. Down low, a check swing by Peralta. 1-2 the count. Six to 2, Cincinnati. They've never trailed tonight. They were 4-2 against the Indians a year ago, trying to win the first 2 games of this, what will be a season series of 6 games. The 1-2 pitch. Inside, he almost hit Peralta, who jumped out of the way. 2-2. Hafner at first, Kearns at third, 2 down. Indians down 4 in the 8th. The next delivery, down low, laid off a slider. Full count.
See, to me, Tom, I watch this is why you get what you get. I mean, he went ahead of him with 2 hard sinkers that Peralta could barely even touch. And now, all of a sudden, he's messed around and getting to a 3-2 count.
The payoff, swung on, foul back.
96 miles an hour, but they basically wasted 4 pitches.
And the deeper it goes in the count, the greater chance you make a mistake.
Well, you walk them here and you bring the tying run to the plate.
Yeah. Matt Laporta on deck. The payoff. Swung on, fouled it back again. And now Peralta pretty much knows he's going to get fastballs.
And that's the problem, number one. And number two, he basically, those last 2 fastballs were pretty straight. He almost looked foreseen, but he can't afford to maybe work the bottom third of that strike zone. Johnny takes it ball 4, as we're saying. He can't throw the good fastball, the good sinker now.
He straightens. He lets it fly. And Johnny Peralta swings and bangs it foul into the Indians' dugout. Still a 3-2 count.
You make that pitch on the 3rd pitch of the sequence, and you probably got it. You make it on the 8th pitch, and he's already seen what you got.
Good
That's
point.
what Mike Redmond was talking about with Fausto.
Yes. Until they show you can hit it, keep throwing it. The 3-2. Slider frozen. Strike 3 call. What a pitch that was. I mean, tip your cap to Nick Nassif.
Absolutely.
A 3-2 slider, and it was a beauty. Inning over, 6-2 Reds after 8. Rafael Perez is coming on for the Cleveland Indians as we go to the 9th inning. 6-2 the score. Cincinnati on top. Jamie Wright went a couple of innings tonight. Gave up a run on 4 hits, had a walk. Boy, Rafael Perez trying to get it turned around here. The set and the pitch. And backing away and taking low is Joey Votto. 2 for 4 with 2 singles, a run batted in. Perez in 14 games. No decisions with an ERA of 8.18. The set and pitch. Down low again, 2-0. This is the problem. Perez in 11 innings has walked 9, and teams are batting .438. Fastball, slider, changeup. What in the world has happened to Rafael Perez? It's been asked now for 2 years. The set, the pitch, a swing and a tapper foul off to the right. 2 balls and a strike. Perez is out of options, so if you wanted to send him down to Columbus, you'd have to expose him to the waiver wire. But he's at a point now where the only time you can use him really is when the game is pretty one-sided, one way or the other. Now the 2-1 pitch. A swing and a broken bat bouncer to second. The bat goes halfway to second as Grudzielanek throws out Votto. Boy, and Rafael Perez was a starter in winter ball. The Indians thought that he had really gotten turned around, had gotten back his command. He looked good in spring.
Yeah, tough to figure.
But spring is one thing. April and May is something altogether different. 1 down for Scott Rowland. He is 0 for 2 officially. Has a sac fly and a walk. Reds up 6-2. Rafael Perez lets it fly, and the pitch runs outside. Ball one.
Seems to come and go with Rafi, and it's been that way the last 2 years where, well, you might see him a night and he's got great stuff. The command is there, the slider is there, and you say he's found it again.
Yeah.
And then the next time in, it's gone.
He delivers outside and low, 2-0. Now, Mike, it's kind of like he had nothing but success when he came up the first couple of years. Then last year struggled, and his confidence has maybe never recovered. He delivers down at the knees, a strike. Reds with a 6-2 lead. This is inning number 9. The 2-1 pitch to Roland. Ball 3, it's low. Indians and Reds have met 64 times prior to tonight in interleague play and split right down the middle, 32 wins apiece. And these two cities separated by 4 hours of highway. Now the 3-1 pitch. That's a slider strike. Full count. Slider, more of a cut fastball, running in on Roland. Full count now with 1 down in the ninth. 6-2 Cincinnati. Scott Roland, the Indiana native, lives in the Indianapolis area now in the offseason. The payoff, a swing and a miss. He chased a pitch that was low, and Perez gets his second strikeout. 2 down. That'll bring up Jay Bruce. 3 for 3. 3 singles. 2 runs batted in. He has one of the Reds' 4 stolen bases tonight. The set. And the first offering with the shift on is low and away, ball 1. 3 infielders on the right side. Third baseman Johnny Peralta is now back at short, shading up the middle. Bruce was 0 for 12 before tonight. 3 for 3 with a walk. The left-hander delivers. And the left-handed hitting Bruce swings and drives one to deep left. On the run is Kearns. This is over his head and halfway up the wall. Into second with a double is Bruce, who's 4 for 4. Hit that halfway up the 19-foot wall and left. And Jay Bruce with his 7th double of the year. And if he gets it going, look out for this Reds offense. It's already pretty good. Here's Johnny Gomes, 0 for 4 tonight. Reds have out-hit the Indians 12-6. They lead it 6-2 in the ninth. 2 down. Johnny Gomes. The set. And the first offering to him. A swing and a foul at the plate. Strike 1. Perez is ready. Checks second. He'll come to the plate. A swing and a miss. Almost halfway to third was Bruce, and he scampers back to second. 0-2 the count.
He's trying to get that big lead and then that jump with 2 outs. And really nobody holding him very close. They're spread out up the middle.
Rafael Perez with the 0-2 offering. Way outside off the glove of Redmond, but Bruce decides to stay put. Ball rolled about 5 feet behind Redmond. 1-2 the count. Reds with a 4-run lead here in the 9th inning. Rafael Perez comes set. The 1-2. A swing and a bouncing ball to short. Donald has it. Sets. Quick throw. Gets goals. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Reds still lead the Indians 6-2. Well, it's a 6-2 ball game. The Reds have the lead. We go to the bottom of the 9th, and their closer, Francisco Cordero, coming on. Non-save situation, but after Dusty Baker, as the set in the pitch to Matt Laporta is ball 1. Dusty Baker on Thursday saw the Reds go into the 9th inning in Atlanta leading 9-3 and lost the 1-0. In their strikes, so Dusty's not taking any chances. Cordero got his 14th save last night. He's 1-3 with an ERA of 3.43, 24th outing. Fastball, slider, splitter, change. The pitch to Laporta, down low in the count, 2-1. Daisuke Matsuzaka lost his no-hitter tonight in the 8th inning. Juan Castro got a 2-out single in the 8th inning for Philadelphia. Red Sox lead the Phillies 5-0. The 2-1. A swing and a shot back up the middle. A base hit into center field for Matt Laporta. And for the first time tonight, the Indians get a base hit to start an inning. Here's Mark Rudzolanek 0 for 3. Indians have been out hit 12-7. They trail it 6-2 in the 9th. Right-hander against right-hander. Cordero has kind of quietly, as he delivers a strike, put together a heck of a resume. Over the last 6 years, he's averaged 37 saves per season. The 0-1, a swing and a foul at the plate, 0-2. He had a club record 49 saves with Texas. He had a club record 44 saves with Milwaukee. And then signed a big whopping contract with the Reds. 34 and 39 saves in his first 2 years with the Reds. 14 already this year. And again, this being a non-save situation. He is ready and delivers. A swing and a foul back. It stays 0-2.
I think playing in Texas is like playing out on the West Coast. You get a guy that plays well, but you don't hear much about him.
He's always had a great arm. Francisco Cordero. He's been a part of a couple of whoppers for trades before becoming a free agent and signing with the Reds. He leans in, now straightens. The 0-2 pitch, swung on, fouled back again. Initially, Francisco Cordero was signed by the Detroit Tigers, and he went to Texas in that mega trade that sent Juan Gonzalez to the Motor City. The 0-2, swung on, fly ball, straightaway center. Stubbs back a few steps, 1 down. Then the Texas Rangers eventually traded him to the Milwaukee Brewers in the trade that sent Carlos Lee to Texas. He did well in Milwaukee, but then as a free agent, cast his lot with the Reds. Shelley Duncan is going to pinch hit as we take 10 seconds for stations to tell you who they are. You're listening to the Cleveland Indians Radio Network. Tom Hamilton, Mike Egan, Jim Rosenhaus with you. Bottom of the ninth inning, 1 out, 1 on, 6-2 Reds. Shelley Duncan pinch hitting. Swings and misses. Duncan tapped to third last night in his Indians debut as a pinch hitter in the ninth, also off Cordero. Duncan was red hot with the Columbus Clippers when the Indians brought him up with Grady Sizemore going on the DL. The set, the pitch. Swung on, fouled back. It's 0-2.
Big guy, good power, Tom.
Yeah. Bigger than his dad.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Dad isn't small. But Shelley Duncan was hitting .301 in Columbus, had 6 homers, had 34 RBIs. Last year, the most valuable player in the International League, he was with the Yankees AAA club in Scranton, had 30 homers, 99 RBIs. The 0-2 swung on, bounced wide of third into left field. Shelley Duncan has his first hit as an Indian. So he and his dad, Dave Duncan, have both had Cleveland Indians base hits. And the Indians have Timmon aboard with 1 down for Jason Donald, who's going to be called back for Russell Branyan. Branyan not starting tonight because he can't play more than 3 days in a row because of his back, but able to pinch hit. Indians at first and second base. 1 out in the ninth. Reds up 6-2. The set and pitch. Fastball just below the knees, ball 1. As a pinch hitter, Branyan's 0 for 3. Batting .214, 4 homers, 9 RBIs. This is something you don't see much in the American League. Pinch hitting. The 1-0. Ball 2 outside. Well, Dusty Baker must be sitting in his dugout saying, not again.
I've seen all of this before.
If Branyan ever gets into one, the Reds are going to be thinking deja vu. 6-2 Cincinnati in the ninth. 1 out. Indians at first and second. The 2-0 pitch. A swing and a miss, changed up on it. 2-1.
Yeah, Russell's sitting dead heat right there, 2-0, and Cordero threw something in there about 86 miles an hour, and Russell way out in front. But you sit on the fastball here.
Cordero did give up a grand slam in that ninth inning in Atlanta. The pitch, a swing and a miss, and the count 2-2. Laporta at second, Duncan at first. Cordero comes set. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Almost hit him. Somehow Branyan skipped over the top of that pitch that was coming in at his shin. And it's a full count on Branyan. Well, the runners obviously will not be running when you're down 4 in the ninth inning. The payoff. Ball 4. It's low. Cordero did not throw a fastball that looked like the splitter. And the bases are loaded. How about this? Trevor Crowe, the Indians' leadoff hitter, will bat left-handed. He is 0 for 3 with a walk. Luis Valbuena will run for Russell Branyan at first. Well, again, if you're not aware, on Thursday night, the Reds at one point led 8-0. They led Atlanta 9-3 going into the ninth inning, and the Braves scored 7 times and won 10-9. Indians have loaded them up in the ninth, down 6-2. The pitch, fastball strike. Now, the Reds, in blowing a 6-run lead in the ninth inning Thursday night, had not done that since 1952. Cordero's pitch. A swing and a miss on a pitch that almost hit him in the knee. 0-2 the count.
A little anxious right there on the part of Trevor Crowe, trying to get something done, and swung at ball one.
Boy, now Cordero's got a lot of ways to go at you. Bases loaded, 1 out, 0-2 the count. Here it comes. A swing and a foul rifled off the first base dugout screen. Another pitch that I don't know how Trevor Crowe got out in front of. It was almost at his knee. Still an 0-2 count. Reds are playing in the outfield fairly deep, straight up. The pitch. Way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here Dusty Baker got criticized for how he handled the 9th inning on Thursday in Georgia. Tonight up 4, he said, to heck with it. I'm going with my closer. And the bases are loaded. You can't win when you manage. The 1-2 pitch. A swing and a foul right side. It's still 1-2. And remember, Cordero did get the save last night after the blown save Thursday night. So he's working again tonight, and he's already made 23 pitches.
Yeah, Tom, you know, as a manager, you can push the buttons, but you can't determine what's going to happen out there.
Indians down 4. They've loaded them up, 1 out in the 9th. Here's the 1-2. A swing and a foul back on a 97-mile-an-hour heater. What a battle Crowe is giving Cordero.
Crowe is an interesting guy. He's a little wiry guy, but watching him the other night in batting practice, he hit a couple of balls over the fence in dead center field. He's got some good power when he extends his swing.
The set, the pitch. A swing and a line shot toward left center. It's going to get down for a base hit. That is going to score Laporta. Duncan around third will score. On to third is Valbuena. A 2-run single to left center by Trevor Crowe cuts the Reds lead in half. It's a 6-4 Cincinnati lead. And all of a sudden, the pitching coach, Brian Price, heading to the mound as Cordero is trying to avoid 2 nightmares in the same week. Trevor Crowe with 7 RBIs, and he hit a pretty good pitch.
He hit a very good pitch. That might have been the splitter from Cordero, and it was below the knees. It was a ball, but I'll tell you, he fought off some nasty pitches in that at-bat, did Trevor Crowe.
The winning runs at home plate in Shin-Soo Choo. Indians down 6-4. Runners at the corners. 1 out in the 9th. Choo 1 for 4. The pitch. A swing and a long drive. Deep left. Down the line it goes. Slicing foul. Everybody on their feet at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario. Boy, what must be going through the mind of Francisco Cordero. The set, the pitch, a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Valbuena at third, Crowe at first. 2 runs in, 1 out. 6-4 Cincinnati. Outfield almost to the warning track. Straight up. The 2-strike pitch. Down and in. 1-2 the count. Austin Kearns waits on deck. The Indians have had 1 walk-off win this year. The 1-2 delivery. Downstairs blocked by Hernandez, the splitter in the dirt. What a job by Hernandez keeping that ball in front of him. And everybody stays put. And the count 2-2. What a job by Hernandez.
That ball could very easily have gotten by him. He really used his body.
This will be pitch number 30. throw to first. Back standing is Crow. Valbuena, the pinch runner at third. Crow at first. Chu awaiting the 2-2 pitch with one down in the ninth, and the Indians down 2. Here it comes. A swing and a bouncer, foul. First base side will do it again at 2-2. And those 3 Indians errors that gave the Reds 2 unearned runs, right now, the difference in this game. Fans are on their feet, be it Reds fans or Indians fans. The 2-2. Runner at first goes. Chu fouling it back. If Crow's able to get to second, a single could tie it.
Yep. Well, and also the run in that 7th inning, Tom, we talked about holding the opposition and not allowing them to score. I mean, it's going to happen, but if that run doesn't score, you got the tying run at third with one out here in the 9th inning.
Cordero's ready. He lets it fly. High heat, full count. And again, not to beat a dead horse, but already 32 pitches for Cordero, and you wonder how much he has left in the tank.
I think Dusty is on the bench wondering the same thing.
Full count, the payoff pitch. A swing and a foul right side. We'll do it again at 3-2 as Crow is running on the pitch. Six runs, 12 hits for Cincinnati. 4 runs, 9 hits for Cleveland. This inning so far for the Indians, 2 runs, 3 hits and a walk. Runners at the corners. The payoff, a swing and a foul ripped through the first base coaching box. And Chu having a terrific at-bat.
Boy, Chu and Crow have really done a good job fouling off borderline pitches.
Yeah. And Russell Branyan drew a walk after he was down in the count. It's not been easy, to say the least, for Francisco Cordero. His payoff. Ball. No, I beg your pardon. Strike 3 called. Crow stayed at first that time. Chu thought it was ball 4, kind of a delayed call by Angel Campos. Oh, what a huge strikeout for Cordero.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Tom, it looked like a pretty good pitch. Comeback fastball at the knees. Chu thought, I think it was low, because when he looked back, the catcher, Hernandez, caught that with his palms down. I'm surprised, actually, that he got the call from the home plate umpire.
Now Austin Kearns with 2 down. The set and pitch. A swing and a fly ball, pretty well hit toward the gap in right center. Bruce on the run, reaches out and grabs it, and the Reds hang on. Austin Kearns trying to plug that gap in right center, but Bruce got a great break on the ball, and the right fielder makes the catch, and the Cincinnati Reds survive the Indians' 9th. The final tonight, Cincinnati 6 and Cleveland 4.